Spookyou's frightening nights of Halloween.
Hello, my dear Franken friends, and welcome to Spookyou, your one-stop shop for all things ghastly and ghoulish. I'm your host, Barnabas Vixen, and it's night 11 of Spookyou's frightening nights of Halloween. Tonight and every night leading up to that spooktacular night in October, All Hallows Eve, or as you mundane mortals like to call it, Halloween. Now, I just wanted to take a second and say I'm glad you didn't forget my birthday. I got so many cards, emails, and texts yesterday, and it's nice to see that you all care about a little old monster like myself. So thank you to everyone who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. It really means a lot. Now, enough of the mushy stuff. Don't forget that our grand event is just 2 nights away. That's right, 2 nights away from Spookyou's All Hallows Eve Bash on Halloween Day. Enjoy a 24-hour live radio of scary stories while you're out trick-or-treating with your friends or enjoying a nice night in. Now, before I pass the reins on over to our vivacious voiceover virtuoso, I need to thank our fine sponsor, the Scottish Hush Puppy, for allowing all of this to happen. Good luck in your match next Thursday, Hush Puppy, as you go up against Matt Bone Crusher McGee. We'll be cheering you on from the stands as you lay the smackdown on him. And it's thanks to days like those where you put your life on the line for a great cause that we're able to continue making quality content. And now it's time for tonight's story. Birds are incredibly smart. Did you know that? Especially crows. They can catch on to things faster than most animals, and they make mistakes too, just like you and I. Moving to a new town can be stressful, but I needed a change of scenery and to get away from my crappy ex. The country sounded quiet and my parents owned a vacation home upstate, so with little thought into what I was going to do, I quit my job and packed my measly belongings to stay upstate until I could figure out my next plan. The first few days were easy, quiet. I loved the trees and grass and hills you don't get to see in the city. The animals could be loud, but I enjoyed listening to the howling wolves and chattering squirrels. They broke up the silence that I wasn't used to. On my 6th day in the house, I was making popcorn to eat during the movie I planned to watch on my porch. I brought the bowl and my laptop and pulled the blanket around my body, and it was only 2 minutes later that the smell of freshly made popcorn attracted a crow with the blackest feathers I've ever seen. The crow stood and watched me for a moment, his beady eyes examining me and my snack as if deciding a bum rush on the bowl would be successful. But before the bird could decide what to do, I grabbed a small handful of it and tossed it on the ground near him. And without hesitation, he started pecking at the popcorn. In no time at all, the ground was clean again, and the crow looked at the bowl, and I couldn't help but laugh at its greediness. Another handful was tossed, and the crow happily devoured it before taking off and flying towards the woods near my house. Honestly, I didn't think much of it until the crow came back with a shiny penny. It placed it at my feet and then took a few bouncing steps backwards. Now, I'd heard of crows bringing gifts to humans they like, but I didn't really think I'd get to see it firsthand. After a moment, the crow took off again and I pocketed the penny. I figured it might have been good luck. The movie finished and I closed my laptop to go inside. Every time I decided to go watch a movie on the front porch, the same crow would come and get its portion of whatever snack I was eating. And in return, it would bring me a small token of gratitude. Shiny coins, tiny toys lost and forgotten by children. It even brought me a $5 bill at one point. I gave him a little extra the day after that. It made me laugh seeing the crow paying for its snack. And soon enough, the other crows caught on, and when I'd come outside, the porch would be littered with little gifts. It became a habit to throw some food outside for my crows and then pick up all the surprises afterward. One day, almost 6 weeks into living here, I tossed the usual hand food of birdseed out my window. It was easier than making popcorn each time, and they all ate it happily, and I waited until they were gone to get my loot for the day. Amongst the normal gifts of pennies and candy wrappers were a single molar. It sat with the rest of the small items, and I figured someone had simply lost a tooth. That is, until all the crows started bringing me more. Soon my porch was littered with human teeth, the bones decaying at various rates. I stopped throwing out birdseed in the hopes they'd stop bringing them. But every day the crows deposit their wares and then stare into the window waiting for their payment. I don't know where they're getting so many teeth, but I really want them to stop.
Excuse me, dear listeners, but it is time for a break. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the Scottish Hush Puppy, and he's going to drone on for about a minute or two about his channel. Feel free to use this as a snack or bathroom break, but don't dally. This won't take long. Take it away, Hush Puppy.
Salutations, good people. I'm the Scottish Hush Puppy, and salutations to all you good people over there at Spookyou, all the subscribers, listeners, and even you, Barnabas. And before I tell you who I am, I want to give a sincere thank you to everybody at the channel for allowing me to be your sponsor for the Frightening Nights of Halloween series that's going to be taking place on October the 18th. So make sure you're subscribed. Do not miss that, because if you're anything like me, you love a good spooky story. And what better place than the YouTube channel you're watching right now? Now, what is a Scottish Hush Puppy, and what does it do? Well, over at our channel, we do a lot of live streams. We stream a lot of horror games, especially through the month of October. And we stream a variety of games when it's not October. And we love to have people watch us live, and we want to provide a family-friendly environment for anybody, absolutely anybody, to come in, hang out, and make it feel more like a casual hangout than a live stream. Because usually everybody in the chat, they're all friends, and we can't wait to see you in one of our live streams in the upcoming foreseeable future. So, that being said, I just might be narrating one of these Frightening Nights stories. And of course, all this is leading up to the big live stream on Halloween itself. And I might be popping up there as well. So don't miss it. Hit subscribe on that Spookyou button. Annihilate it. And until next time, I've been the Scottish Hush Puppy, and I got some food to go eat.
Oh, finally back, huh? Well, I mean, while you were gone, we were going to wait on you, but you took so long picking out a snack that, well, we've just gone ahead and left you, so you'll have to join the story in progress. Seriously, some people. Can you believe this? This guy.
I can see the headlights in my rearview mirror. They clicked on halfway through the long drive home. This late at night, they were almost blinding. I couldn't not notice them. It's rare to see anybody else here on these dusty back roads, so I was worried from the start. And I only got more worried as those headlights kept following me. Every turn I took, they kept right on my trail in my rearview mirror. I've been delaying getting home, trying to shake this creep, but it hasn't been working, and I'm almost out of gas. I sigh and consider my options. I live alone out here in the middle of nowhere, so I can't call for help, and I don't have enough gas to get back to the nearest town. If I can get home, run inside and lock the door, I might have a chance. I might be able to figure something out from there. Honestly, it's the only chance I've got. So I take the road down to my house, eyes on the rearview mirror, those lights still following me. I take a deep breath, stop the car and start running, and I sneak a glance behind me and then there's nothing there. There's no car following me. And then I look back at my own car as two glowing eyes turn to stare at me from the back seat. Halloween is a special type of holiday. Many will think of it as a chance to be something they're not, while others find it a chance to be exactly who they are. Costumes are only a small part of what would be considered one of my favorite days of the year. But have you seen the news of the tainted candy? It's become increasingly popular in the past few years, and parents couldn't be more afraid for their young ones. Little Jimmy or Sally from the town over got a special Jolly Rancher with a few extra shards of glass, and all of a sudden everybody has lost their minds. Well, nobody told little Jimmy or Sally that they went to the wrong house. If they had been paying attention, they would have noticed a bright green pumpkin with red eyes at the end of the driveway. If they hadn't been so obsessed with pleasing their sweet tooth, they might have noticed the looks of disdain and hatred on the faces of the homeowners. Really, it isn't their fault that these kids don't know of the rules. Most have forgotten, but a few make it their duty to protect the rest every thankless year. You see, that candy is for me. It will not shred my gums like it did to little Jimmy. It will not fill my throat with blood much like little Sally's. Instead, my teeth will grind the glass and razor blades to dust. The nails will not puncture my cheeks and the bleach will not burn my throat. These treats of torture keep your neighborhood safe and my hunger sated. So if you really want to make a difference this holiday, leave the pumpkin at the end of your walk and have a sweet treat waiting for me. Your town will thank you, because the tricks are way worse than the treats.
Oh, great. Another outro. Look, I appreciate you sticking around, but that does mean that tonight is over and we're inching closer and closer to the end of October. And while I love Halloween and all things spooky, I'm not adept at coping with change. Or goodbyes. Or even see you laters. I mean, we're nearing the end of spooky season, for crying out loud. Hey, quit your snickering. Even monsters have feelings, you know. Besides, here at Spookyou, our spookiness knows no bounds. We're going to be bringing you terrifying tales all year round. And we don't really believe in the concept of too much of a good thing. I mean, that's preposterous. If that were the case, they would have fired me a long time ago. Anyways, if you've been with us through the entirety of our Frightening Night series thus far and you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? With our luck, you'll croak before you smash that button, and then we'll have to cut into our budget just to reanimate you to do this one simple task. Well, and then it's remedial tasks from there on out. I mean, if we're forking out the cash, you're at least doing the dishes. Oh, and hit that like button, too. It helps make us look good to the YouTube deities and pushes our content out into the World Wide Web. That way, newcomers and long-timers alike can discover our content. Or something like that. Hey, I'm just a monster reading a script voiced by some guy behind a mic. What do I know? Well, we'll see you tomorrow night for another episode of our Frightening Nights of Halloween. Until then, my ghastly gang, stay spooky.